Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Ultra Confusion, something slightly different. Confusing your host, Charlie. That's me. Hello out there. You may see that I am grimacing. There is a reason for my grimace. It has to do with sports, so I will leave that at that. Okay. To take out my frustration, I decided to try to create some new furniture. Yes, this is what I do. I try to find outlets for my frustration. Not always can someone drink themselves. Sometimes I have to be creative. So I stained my my side table that's going to hold my record player, my LP player, and I started making my son's side table. So there you go. I could give you the usual spiel. I think you don't want to hear this usual spiel, so we'll just skip that part, okay? We have some great news, some really fantastic, exciting news, and that is that not only did we have a freaking blast having Craig Campbell on the show for Thursday Night Hangout this past Thursday to talk about Mergers and Acquisitions, his new game, and we did get to show off some of the never-seen-before art of the game. But Craig had so much fun that he wants to come back right before the KickStarter starts. So we are really excited to... we don't have any finite details as to when we'll be able to do that, but Craig will be back in April to talk more about mergers and acquisitions, which is freaking awesome. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. Lots of games to play. You already know that. Reviews to write. You already know that. News to give you. You already know that. Psychonauts 2 is being created through that new system. It's not Kickstarter. It's like Fig or something like that. And the one that I'm still not 100%. I need to read up about because it sounds like you're basically selling the rights to the game because you're basically getting like a share of the game or some crazy thing like that, which means that if an individual were to pay more than half, that would mean that you would own more than half the rights to the game. Therefore, you could make decisions upon per game, on said game. At least that was my opening interpretation of the whole system, which to me is nuts. Because let's say Psychonauts 2 comes out, and the reason why I'm pointing that way is because I have a Psychonauts poster signed by Tim Schafer himself. Let's say that Psychonauts 2 gets funded, and let's say that an individual drops 51% of the accumulated result at the end. From my understanding of the way the system works, you're buying a share. So you bought 51% of the share. That means that you can outvote anyone and everyone in the decisions of what's going to happen with Psychonauts 2, which could, in theory, mean that... But like I said, I haven't read the fine print, but just from, like quickly glancing at it when the system first came up, what that could mean is Psychonauts 2, if you have 51% of the shares, is that you could potentially make Psychonauts 2 a first-person fighting game that has to do with superhero weddings. What Now, like I said, I don't know all of the creative ins and outs, but you have to understand that if you do have a share, that means that you have a say in what the product or the business is going to be doing. So I'm very curious to see what kind of contract they've lined up for this, because if they're not careful, they just basically given away. They will retain the rights of the IP, but they would retain creative interest and design and direction in said game, which in my mind would be astronomically retarded. I apologize for using the word retarded, but I can't think of any other word. Idiotic. Stupid. It's just completely brain-numbingly fucked up. There we go. There's a perfect word. So there you go. So that's it for my something slightly different. I have to wait for my stain to dry, and then I got to put a couple coats of polyurethane on there to seal the stain in there, so it looking nice. If you're curious to see any of my previous work, which has basically been three stools and 2 TV stands, you can probably email me, and I'll probably show you a picture or two. The TV stands were my first things I ever made, so a little rough. But the rest of it, the stools look pretty good. They're getting better every single time, and this side table is going to look awesome. And then, of course, this I'm sorry, the table where my record player is going to be going looks awesome. Like I said, I've got the stain on that, and then my son's nightstand or slash side table is going to rock. I haven't decided how the hell I'm all going to do that, but it's going to be awesome. I can promise you, it's going to be awesome. So yeah, there you go. Something slightly different. Charlie, that's me. I'll see you in the very near future. If I do not see you in the near future, remember that every single Thursday, it's a Thursday Night Hangout, which starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I guess because we're now back at Standard Time because daylights is up. Hooray! So of course, tune into that every single Thursday at 8 o'clock, where you will get to actively participate in the audience portion. Basically, that's the entire show. So if you have a topic that you would like to talk about, or perhaps a question that you have for one of the topics we're presenting, by all means, drop it in the chat room, and we will try to get as many, if not all of the topics, questions, comments as possible, as long as they're in the realm of being constructive to the conversation. If you are going to give us ASCII characters of sexual acts, we're probably going to block you. If you are if you're going to try to derail us with political propaganda on a subject that has nothing to do with video games, we're probably going to ignore you. And like I said, we're going to block you, but we're probably going to ignore you because that's not really what we're doing. Because we're here to have fun. I mean, that's what the Thursday Night Hangout's all about, is have fun. Just to chill, chit-chat, act a little silly, cover some topics. Sometimes there's some tempers that flare, usually mine. But at the end of the day, it's all fun and games. So tune in every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Whatever it is, standard. Now we're back in standard, so Eastern Standard Time. If you are in any location where you cannot catch the show live, remember this. We record every single show. Unless the show is completely crapped by the internet service provider at my house, because that's where Alter Confusion is, you will see a recording of said show, and you can check it out. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or criticisms for any of the past shows or videos that we have produced for you, by all means, drop us a line. You can hit us up through the website, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and of course our Twitch channel, which is where we broadcast our live streams and our Thursday Night Hangout. So that's it. Seriously, I am done with something slightly different. For myself, Charlie, it's been a pleasure to give you crazy stuff coming out of my mind, my mouth, and my heart. I will see you in the very near future. Deuces, my friends. Deuces.